Good evening. Tonight, the FDA warns against eye drops, California's new response to the opioid overdoses, and executive orders concerning AI technology. Plus, local news, entertainment, weather, and sports. Good evening, Plattsburgh. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. I'm Chris Sperano.
And I'm Jorge Cabrera. Tonight, the FDA puts warnings out on eye drops for infection risk. The Food and Drug Administration is warning people not to buy certain eye drop products due to the possible risk of infection that could result in partial loss of your vision or blindness. The FDA alert covers 26 over-the-counter eye drop products. They are marketed under the brands CVS Health, Leader, Rugby, Rite Aid, Target, Up & Up, and Velocity Pharma. The FDA says anyone who has already bought the products should stop using them. The agency recommended the manufacturer of the products recall all lots last week. Investigators found unsanitary conditions in the manufacturing facility where critical drug production areas tested positive for bacteria. Several retailers removed the products from store shelves. The FDA hasn't gotten any reports of eye infection associated with the eye drop products.
California Governor Gavin Newsom has announced a new task force that will treat opioid overdoses like murder in San Francisco. That means law enforcement will employ procedures to document deaths, gather evidence, and process intelligence to map out the supply of fentanyl. According to the governor's office, the task force will also hold drug traffickers accountable. It will include members of the San Francisco Police Department, the District Attorney's Office, the California National Guard, and California Highway Patrol. The task force is expected to be fully operational by early next year. Primarily city data shows as of September, 619 people died from overdoses. That figure is on track to outnumber last year's 647 deaths.
Monday, the White House is rolling out a sweeping executive order on artificial intelligence. This marks the latest effort to address the rapidly evolving technology. The order requires developers of powerful AI systems to share results of their safety tests with the federal government before they are released to the public. It also eases immigration barriers for workers skilled in critical areas of AI to study to stay in the U.S. And the order establishes standards to prevent production of dangerous biological materials. In addition, it directs the Commerce Department to develop guidance for watermarking and AI-generated content to prevent fraud. The White House says Biden spent months consulting with world leaders, academics, experts, tech executives, and advisors to lay out this new executive order. And after this break, news from our reporters. Stay tuned.
Are you a criminal justice major? Do you like true crime? If so, SUNY Plattsburgh's Criminal Justice Club is the place for you. The club regularly plans outings and events, like a recent trip to the Clinton County Correctional Facility, and also brings in guest speakers. Criminal Justice Club meets every Tuesday in Meeting Room 4 in Red K Hall at 7 p.m. and is open to all majors. To stay up to date, follow at Plattsburgh CJ Club on Instagram. Hope to see you there.
Reporter Matt Gaston tells us about that mid-semester rite of passage and midterms.
It's midterms week at SUNY Plattsburgh, and I had the opportunity to sit down and discuss the biannual event with a student and a professor. TV video major and junior Hans Schummerschlag isn't so convinced that midterms are as useful as some claim.
I really don't think they matter because, it's like middle of the year. This is when people are like, they're getting into a rhythm. And they're starting to get into doing work, especially a lot of my classes. It's basically the same weekly assignments, and so you start getting into a groove. And then midterms just throw all that off because now you're focusing on doing this big test, and you basically throw all that work to the side and you forget about it for a week, and you basically have to reset.
Schummerschlag believes that midterms only capture a portion of what an individual is capable of.
Because midterm is hard because you're halfway. So it's not encompassing everything, it's only encompassing a half. And there are some times where you don't fully understand those concepts until the second half. So that's why I think it should just be like a final at the end of the year.
On the other hand, Professor Bruce Carlin thinks that midterms are sometimes the wake-up call that students need.
I think they're very valuable because I think it gives you kind of a temperature check to see where you're at. And if there is a surprise, and it's not a good surprise, they should have enough time to work on things and right the ship. It gives you a chance to refocus, rededicate maybe some things that you maybe weren't doing, to see where absences are impacting you, because depending on the professor, absences can play a tremendous role in someone's grade.
In Studio B in Yoakum Hall for PS News, I'm Garrett Jones.
Jody Juliana Powell took a trip to Tupper Lake to explore a new way of experiencing the Adirondacks.
To suspend all rides due to weather damages. It usually would carry passengers from this station in Tupper Lake to Utica. The railroad started over 30 years ago and was much smaller.
It first started running in a community near Old Forge called Thundera. It was a 4-mile railroad in those days.
With over 400 hours of volunteer work and the help of New York State Department of Transportation, the railroad has carried almost 2 million passengers.
This is now the longest excursion passenger railroad east of the Mississippi River.
If you're not a fan of trains, they have rail bikes, available for you to experience nature at your own pace. You can explore areas of the track closed off to train traffic, so you can enjoy the scenery. Adirondack Rail Bike Adventures offers the front seat to nature.
When we say it's a front seat to nature, it's true. You are out in the open and you see animals. We have a variety of trees. It's a fun ride. People are doing it, and we're going to have a ride today with a bunch of school kids.
I've never gone rail biking before, and this looks super exciting. Like, I see all the twists and turns up there, and I like looking at the scenery too.
The extreme flooding this past summer caused 2 washouts, forcing service to come to a halt. The second washout was 165 feet long and 20 feet deep, and was just fixed last Sunday.
We've been contacted by railway fans from across the country. When can we ride? So in 24, there will be far more frequent opportunities now that the right-of-way has been fixed.
This Sunday, service is restored and there will be a train to Utica. For PSTV, I'm Jody Juliana Powell.
Is this economy straining your budget? Students now have a way to obtain much-needed necessities such as clothes and furnishings for almost free.
The Thrift Stop offers a variety of items to SUNY Plattsburgh students, things like bedding, kitchenware, and even textbooks.
Most of the supplies are donated from students when they leave when they're finished with their schooling. They donate some of their no longer needed items like their comforters or their blankets. Every year we have students come and pick up some books, like reading books. They'll read them over the semester and then they'll donate them at the end of the semester to kind of keep the cycle going.
The Thrift Stop is supplied directly through donations from students every year. However, Elizabeth is hoping to get more donations from outside donors in the future.
Moving forward, I would like to see the Thrift Stop maybe work with local organizations, not just for us to donate to the organizations, but maybe the organizations to donate to us, because there are a lot of students that have need of rugs that we have run out of. We have a lot of students that maybe don't like some of the styles of the previous bedding that's available right now. Also, some of the clothing that's available, while it is gently used, it's not in sizes that could fit most of the students on campus. Maybe the freshmen, but like the juniors, seniors, and even some of the graduate students that we have here, some of the clothes may not fit. Maybe even getting some winter boots, because we have nothing when it comes to winter shoes. Absolutely nothing.
The Thrift Stop continues to spread the word about the resources they provide to the community and are working to improve their outreach efforts.
For now, we have posters. I am hoping to get involved with the Instagram pages that SUNY Plattsburgh has, maybe even starting up the Thrift Stop their own Instagram page, or maybe we can post like specials, like say, hey, we have a certain item, come get it while it's still available, or maybe call out for volunteers, and probably most importantly, a map to where the thrift stop is. A lot of students don't know where we are actually. So having like an interactive map to show students where we're at might facilitate more people coming in.
If you're looking for hidden treasure, the Thrift Stop is one of its own. Open Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. and from 4 to 6. I'm Xavier Brzett with PSTV News.
Plattsburgh students have a new venue to show their artwork. Reporter Liam Sample tells us where.
Plattsburgh City Hall is located on Durkee Street and is home to the mayor, city clerk, and now a new art exhibit which holds pieces all from the SUNY Plattsburgh Art Museum. Located directly in front of the front doors of City Hall in the old council chambers, the exhibit holds a multitude of art pieces, all made by former students. According to the city's community engagement coordinator, Courtney Meisenheimer, the room was formerly filled with a mismatch of pictures across the wall. The process of establishing the exhibit began at the start of the summer.
Yeah, I was the sort of project coordinator on the city side, reached out to Tanya Cribb, Walter Early, the art museum at SUNY Plattsburgh, and just sort of pitched the idea of bringing some of the student art from the President's Collection into City Hall. And hopefully people see this, maybe they come in to get a birth certificate or they pay their utility bill, but they end up wandering into that room and then they find themselves in the art museum and kind of recognize that there's this really great resource right here in our own community.
Plattsburgh art staff came to put in the exhibit, one of which is the SUNY Plattsburgh Art Museum preparator, Walter Early.
Like I said, focused on artwork made by students that came through the program. We also wanted to select work, not all of it, but we tried to get work that was connected to Plattsburgh or the surrounding area. So if you go through, you'll see like the train station is represented, Ausable Chasm, the lake, obviously. So I think that was fun to kind of see how students have drawn inspiration from the town. And it's not always some of those people that are there are still in the area and still active. They're still making artwork, which is great.
The exhibit was installed at the start of the semester, right at the time of the Battle of Plattsburgh ceremonies. During that weekend, President Enyetti and his wife were able to stop by and see the exhibit. According to Meisenheimer, the response from the community has been positive.
We had a couple folks reach out just saying, this is really nice, thank you for doing this. We posted about it on our social media pages and people were happy to know that that's happening. So can't be upset about good art in public places, so it's been good.
Meisenheimer encourages SUNY Plattsburgh students to come stop by into City Hall and see the exhibit.
So if students are downtown, like grabbing a coffee at the coffee shop, studying, come down to City Hall, come check out the exhibit. It's always nice to just find ways to get students to be out in our community more, and we welcome them. So.
The art exhibition is open 8 to 4 Monday through Friday and is open to the public. Reporting for PSTV at City Hall, I'm Liam Sample.
Reporter Jaden McLeod gives us a preview of the men's basketball season.
As we reach the midpoint of the fall semester, the Plattsburgh men's basketball team is ready to start their season. I was able to speak with Mike Blaine, head coach of the men's basketball team here at Plattsburgh.
Yeah, we're pretty excited. We're about 2 weeks out from our first game of the season when we open up with Clarkson on November 8th. We've been practicing. We've got probably about 15, 16 or so practices so far. I'm definitely encouraged and pleased with what we're seeing so far. We're excited for what's in front of us this year. Yeah, our focus this year is been emphasizing our readiness earlier on in the season. It took us a little bit longer last year to hit our stride as a unit, and this year we know we've got to make sure that we're closer to our peak earlier on in the process. Basically, we dug ourselves a big hole last year and played really well down the stretch, but kind of gave ourselves too much to overcome. So we need to make sure that we're a little sharper, a little bit sooner in the process, so we can be our best throughout the course of the season and give ourselves the best opportunity for what we're looking for in the postseason.
He's excited to start the year off strong, as well as new players joining this year's roster.
Yeah, we've got 6 newcomers this year, a number of transfer students, couple fresh faces as well, and about 10 returners so far. So we're pretty excited. We feel like we've got as good of a depth in our roster as we've had during my time as a head coach here at Plattsburgh State. So we're pretty excited with the progress our returners have made. We're pretty excited what our newcomers are bringing to the table, and we feel like it's going to mesh really well into an exciting roster and give us a great opportunity to be successful this year.
Their season will begin November 8th as they take on Clarkson University in Potsdam. Reported for PSTV News, I'm Jaden McLeod.
Have you ever had a main character moment? I mean, when you first step in front of the camera. I mean, when you ace that exam. When you publish your first novel.
When you take that shot.
When the moment is yours.
I told you already that if you were going to film a scene like this, it should be shot during the summer. That's when you should have called me. And also, why is my hair like this? Looks ridiculous. What do you mean I'm live? All right, Good evening, Plattsburgh. I'm your meteorologist, Johnny Cage, Hollywood superstar and A-list actor. Here to show all these students here what it's all about and how it's done. Also, who's this guy, Michael Merced? I keep hearing he was the one who was supposed to come in. Who cares? You got the genuine article right here. Anyway, coming in Owl's Head, we have a cool 36 degrees, a little bit above freezing now. Same down in Vermontville. In Dannemora, we have 37 degrees. All Sable Forks is beating out the pack with a solid 58. I'd rather be there than in this cold wherever we are right now. 41 degrees here in Plattsburgh, though. And moving on to St. Albans City. Is it even actually a city, though? We have 41 degrees. And same thing in Burlington. 41 degrees. Why are we doing stuff in Vermont? I thought we were stationed in New York. Anyway, look at your 5-day forecast. Tuesday, we had a high of 68, sunny. That's what we're getting tomorrow, actually. It's going to be much warmer than it is today, that's for sure. Anyway, Wednesday, what am I looking at here? Why does it say snow? It's only going to be November. Why? 65 degrees. Thursday, 44 degrees. The temperature's just going to drop drastically. Friday, we have also 43 degrees, cloudy, and Saturday, 43 degrees. Are we in fall or winter? Who knows anymore? Anyway, that's going to be it for our weather. I got to show you guys this, though. This is the scene that they're having me film. Page 17, Johnny Cage dies. Who thought of that? Ridiculous. Anyway, after the break, we're going to go on to entertainment news, where hopefully they tell you about one of my movies. Stay with us.
Thanks, Johnny Cage. Well, tragedy. Actor Richard Mole has died. Mole was most known for his role as Bull, the bailiff on the original sitcom Night Court from 1984 until 1992. The 6'8" tall actor has appeared in movies such as Jingle All the Way and Scary Movie 2, and was the voice of Two-Face in the DC animated series Batman. In a statement from his family, they said Mole died at his California home in Big Bear Lake on Thursday. A case of the death was not released. Mole was 80 years old.
Actor Jonathan Majors' latest movie has been pulled from Disney's release calendar. Ahead of late next month, the movie magazine Dreams was originally set for release on December 8th. But on Friday, Disney indicated the film no longer has a release date. This year, Majors was charged with assault and aggravated harassment from a March 25th incident involving his former girlfriend, Grace Jarby. Majors' trial is expected to begin on November 29th. The actor, through his attorneys, denies the allegations.
Romance. That's what researchers are calling the desire by Generation Z to see less romance on TV. A new study from UCLA found the group thinks romance is overused in TV shows and movies. They prefer to see platonic friendships on screen. A 16-year-old research participant says the romance dissipation, quote, can give people false ideas of what they should be wanting at that age. The study says Gen Z prefers wholesome entertainment with positive character relationships.
Actor Matthew Perry has died. Sources tell the Los Angeles Times Perry died of an apartment drowning at his Los Angeles home on Saturday afternoon. The sources said foul play is not suspected. Police are investigating. Perry was best known for his role as Chandler Bing in the long-running sitcom Friends. The 54-year-old wrote a memoir last year that detailed his off-screen battle with alcohol and pills. Perry wrote that he went to rehab more than a dozen times and underwent 14 surgeries related to his drug use. Perry was associated with Warner Brothers during his acting career. A statement released from Warner Brothers called Perry a gifted actor and an incredible part of the Warner Brothers television group family. The statement went on to say Perry's comedic genius was felt around the world, and his legacy will live on in the hearts of so many.
The last Beatles song comes out next month. The two remaining living Beatles, Paul McCartney and Ringo Starr, came together to finish a song the late John Lennon wrote called Now and Then. Lennon wrote and recorded this song at his New York City home in 1970. McCartney, Starr, and George Harrison, who died in 2001, later worked on it in the mid-90s. McCartney and Starr finished it this year, more than 4 decades after it has been written. McCartney coined it the last Beatles song. The song features the original vocals recorded by Lennon that were preserved using artificial intelligence. McCartney and Starr saying, hear the crystal clear voice of Lennon and the completed track. That was a profound experience. Now and Then is set to be released worldwide on November 2nd. That's all for your entertainment news. Now on over to DJ for your sports update.
Thanks, Jorge. Now here's a look at your Cardinal sports update. Your new number 4 ranked Plattsburgh men's ice hockey team used a 3-goal third period to close the door on the visiting VSU Castleton Spartans, winning their home opener 6-3. The Cardinals were again spreading the wealth offensively as 9 players tallied at least 1 point. It was Joshua Belgrave who led the way with 3 points for the Cards, also scoring the game-winning goal in the first 6 minutes of the third period. Freshmen Tio D'Addario and Lonan Bolger each scored their first collegiate goals in the 60, while Eli Schiller made his first start of the season in net, making 17 saves and picking up the W. With the victory, the Cards moved to 2-0 and look to open SUNYAC play strong in their next game as they head to Morrisville on Wednesday. The Plattsburgh State women's volleyball team clinched a spot in the SUNYAC tournament for the first time since 2013 as they defeated Fredonia 3-2. It was also senior day for Plattsburgh. Prior to the start of the match, the Cardinals honored their 4 seniors. Libero Peyton Zophi, defensive specialist Shannon Fitzpatrick and Lily White, and setter Emma Rivers. In addition, Zophi tallied her 1,000th career dig during the first set, becoming the 10th Cardinal in program history and the first since 2013 to reach that milestone. Zophi, who now has 1,023 career digs to her credit, is the SUNYAC leader in digs per set at 5.6. The victory marks just the second for Plattsburgh State in a 14 all-time match with Fredonia, with their only other win coming on November 3rd, 1984, when the two teams first met. Plattsburgh State rises to 11-10 overall with the win and looks to play host to St. Lawrence University on Tuesday at 6:30. On Saturday, the Plattsburgh State men's cross-country team competed at the 2023 SUNYAC Championships at Fortin Park in Oneonta. The team finished 5th place, the program's highest finish since 2011. Noah Bonesteel was the team's top finisher, coming in 22nd place overall. Bonesteel was also awarded the prestigious SUNYAC Elite 20 Award. Plattsburgh State finished in 5th place, accumulating 135 points to finish ahead of Fredonia, Oswego State, New Paltz, Buffalo State, and Potsdam. Geneseo was the overall team victor as the Knights won their 9th straight championship and their 21st overall. The Cardinals next compete at the NCAA Division III Mid-East Region Championships, which will take place on Saturday, November 11th. Also in Oneonta, the Plattsburgh State women's cross-country competed at the 2023 SUNYAC Championship on Saturday, finishing in 4th place overall. Marissa Colvin placed 13th, earning her SUNYAC All-Conference 3rd team honors with the finish. Plattsburgh finished in 4th, accumulating 142 points, finishing ahead of Brockport, Oswego, New Paltz, and Fredonia. Geneseo won the team title, its 12th straight and 22nd overall championship. The team will also be headed to the NCAA Division III Mid-East Region Championships, which take place on Saturday, November 11th. That's all the time I've got for your Cardinal Sports update. Now back to the desk.
Thanks, DJ. Well, that's all the time we have for your edition of PS News. To stay up to date, follow us at Plattsburgh State TV on all our social media. I'm Jorge Cabrera.
And I'm Chris Sperano.
Good night, Plattsburgh.
Good night.